We are back for another video. Arvin, how you doing today, my
Hi,
friend?
Ben. Doing great, Ben, as always. Can't
Good.
complain.
Like it. Today we're going to talk about one of the most requested things in the Amazon world, which is how to make updates or edits to a listing. And in this conversation, we're also going to talk a little bit about contribution rights because that's kind of a big part of this whole equation is where are the contribution rights coming from? Who actually controls a listing? All that stuff. So maybe we can start with that, Arvin, is what's like the hierarchy in terms of contribution rights? And maybe explain what contribution rights are on an Amazon listing.
Well, yeah, but the contribution rights meaning, the rights to make an edit into a certain listings or like an ASIN. So
So
is the
who can
contribution
actually make the edits?
control? Yeah,
Yeah.
who can like make edits? Who's in control of that listing? If regardless if it is a branded listing or just let's say big brands selling on Amazon. So yeah, and there are different levels of contribution rights. So yeah, what do you want to cover first? Because there's a lot of things to unpack in there.
So I guess let's just talk about like how like just because you're the brand owner, do you always
hmm
have the like right to actually update the listing, or how can someone else come and make a change to your listing? I mean, those are things that are can be confusing.
Yeah. So yeah, even if you are the brand owner, it doesn't mean that you have take control of your listing all the time.
Hmm.
So it's not guaranteed. And if you come to that point in time where you need to make an update on your listing, but Amazon system is not letting you do so, even though you've tried manually editing it, for example, or you've also uploaded a flat file, even doing a partial update or even the full update. You even have tried to do the delete relist of the listings, but still not letting you. So you probably have to contact Amazon support and then ask them where is the contribution coming from. And if usually the control is within the Amazon internal team because they're the one who have access to the tools. They're basically the one who's maintaining all of the catalogs. So you can ask them to do the edit for you if you don't know where it is coming from.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm going into so much details in there, but you have any question first?
So where are the places it can come from? Because you have I'm going to try to put these in boxes, but we have Seller
hmm
Central, we have Vendor Central. Then there's
Yeah.
this other piece called Brand Registry that's out there. Now,
hmm
sometimes sometimes I, as the brand owner, try to make a change to my own listing and it doesn't go through. So sometimes might log in and a competitor, maybe or I think a competitor or a reseller of my product has done something to change my listing. So I guess
hmm
like, can you kind of break down like that kind of working arrangement, Seller Central, Vendor Central, Brand Registry, and how those
Yeah.
kind of
So
play in together?
let's look at it like a pyramid. Okay, sounds great to you?
Hmm.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry.
Sounds
But yeah,
great to me.
usually the top of the pyramid is the Amazon internal team. So they're the one who can do the edits regardless if the contribution is, for example, you are the brand owner, but you cannot do the edit because maybe perhaps it is maybe and perhaps I use it in the same sentence. Perhaps it is coming from the vendor central or a retail. So, but you as a brand owner, you have the right to do it, and then you raise the case in brand registry team. You did the uploads, as I was saying, but it didn't work. So, yeah, the internal team is the only one who can do that for you, provided that you can tell them and that you can show them the proof of ownership of that ASIN. So they are the top of the pyramid. After that is the Amazon retail team, the vendor central. So if you have, let's say, for example, if you have a distributor who is selling it on Amazon via 1P or via vendor central, they Amazon will usually give the contribution rights to them. Even though you are the
Right.
brand owner, you're the one who's controlling it. But always the priority is the vendor or the retail. Then after that, after the vendor is the brand registry team. You will be able to actually because the brand registry is like a program where they're giving you to what you call it do control of your listings and then add other IP violation things. But yeah, they will be able to help you to do the updates um in if you are having issues on doing publishing the content. Then after that, as a brand seller, if let's say for example you stop selling that ASIN or that product, or maybe for example big brands that are not actually selling on Amazon and they have a lot of resellers, so the contribution right will be given to professional sellers. So what I mean by professional sellers, who those are Amazon sellers who have like a professional account. They are paying for a monthly subscription. And then the last on the pyramid are just the individual Amazon sellers. So they are not brand registered. So again, there's a difference between just the normal seller and the brand registered seller. So the brand registered sellers are, of course, they have a brand registered account, they have trademark, and then this professional sellers or individual sellers are sometimes a reseller or sometimes just doing retail arbitrage or online arbitrage. So they can also win the contribution rights if the one I mentioned above or before that is not winning the contribution. Did I make sense?
Yeah, that was super useful, actually. I feel like that hierarchy breakdown that's like one of the most crucial things you have to understand when you're trying to make these changes, or if you can't figure out why you can't update your own listing or a listing in general. So that's the hierarchy side. So I guess I know we have other videos that kind of delve into this in a lot more depth, but at a high
Mhm.
level, let's say now I understand that piece. I want to make some kind of update to a listing or an edit. Can you just quickly
Yeah.
break down in a minute or 2 minutes, like how to go about that process, like the general steps?
Yeah, so the first thing you need to do, if let's say you don't know who's winning the contribution, so let's say you have to make an update on your listing, you can do it manually by just going to your logging into your Seller Central and then going to manage inventory and find that ASIN that you need to update and then click edit and then oops, it keeps on doing that. But yeah, so you can update, you change the title or any attribute, especially right now that with the Amazons going to change a lot of things by 2025. So you have to make sure that all of the fields in your product. It varies per category, but make sure that all of the fields and attributes are updated with the information regarding your product so that it works with the Amazon's algorithm. So and if let's say you've done it and then you added all of the information on the back end, but it didn't work, so you can try doing a flat file upload. So first is let's say you just want to download the category listing report. So usually the category listing report is available on your Seller Central, but if it is not, you can request it from Amazon by going to by raising a case and ask them to enable the category listing report. Once you download the category listing report, it will give you a flat file with all of the information of your ASINs. Make sure though that because sometimes you can download the flat file, but there are no information in there. But that's because you haven't added the information in the back end as well. So you have to make sure that they are all in there inside the box and in all of the fields. So yeah, so assuming that you have already filled it up and you have the category listing report, you've updated it. And so just keep on adding all of the information and anything else that you want to add and then do first. I will do the partial update first because if you do a full update, it's sometimes causing some issues, especially if you haven't backed up your listings, you haven't like took a screenshot or anything. So I'll do a partial update because that works sometimes, especially if you are just updating a title, for example, or just one bullet point. So do a partial update. And after 15 minutes, after you upload it and it's successful, you have to wait sometimes, usually just 15 minutes, and it will reflect. So sometimes I wait 3 hours, depends on how busy I am in a day. So if it's let's say after 30 minutes or 33 hours, it's still not updated, then you can try to do the full update. There's a drop down in there. You can choose either partial update or delete. Of course, don't use delete. So if it is not working, what you can do is you can try to do delete release, but you can also instantly raise a case if it is not working and tell Amazon that you have uploaded the flat file and it didn't work. But so
Mhm.
I am suggesting doing a delete release because one of the troubleshooting process of Amazon is telling you to delete your listing for 24 hours.
Yep.
So yeah, so that I will do the delete release so that I can get back to Amazon and tell them that yeah, I've done the troubleshooting process, but it didn't work. So I will ask them to connect me to their internal team or to their catalog team first to do the edit for me. And if the catalog team cannot do the edit, then they will create a case to their internal team to refresh the listing.
So first you try to go to man, just I'm going to try to sum this all up is
Mhm.
go to first you try the manual way. So you go to your inventory in Seller Central, click edit, and try
You
to make
you can skip that, by the way. So
probably
you
won't
can
work. Okay.
yes. I just
So
said it because it's usually for me if I'm being lazy, okay, I'll just do manual update because I don't want to download all of this category listing report and the flat file and making sure that everything in my flat file are correct. So I'll just
right.
do an edit on the manual on the back end, and usually it's not working.
So yeah, so you pretty much can't use the easiest, simplest solution. So instead you have to normally best practice, get your category listing report, which will pull a report in a CSV or Excel file of all your
Mhm.
things that you already have in Amazon. So assuming you already have
Yes,
some stuff in there and it'll export it and you can use that as a starting point. Then you try to start making your updates, which is download a flat file template, add the stuff to flat file, do a partial update. Then if that doesn't go through, then you do a full update. If that doesn't go through, then you can either open a case or what you're recommending is actually do a delete, wait
and
24 hours,
release.
and then
Yeah.
relist the same product to kind of
Mm-hmm.
reset the system. And oftentimes that one will work, right?
Yeah, that
Not
one
always.
will work oftentimes. Not yeah, not always. So, I mean, I just want to clarify because before I explain all of these processes, we talked about the pyramid of like the contribution, right? So, I don't recommend to reach out to seller support directly because not all the time they are helpful. So for me, for it to be effective, reaching out to them and asking them for support, for it to be effective, I have to back it up that I've done the troubleshooting process. That's why I'm explaining this right now.
Hmm.
And and then once you talk, because the first level of support that you will receive is I don't know, I mean I don't know the terms, but usually it's just like a customer service who don't have access to the tools, and usually they have a KPI, they have a handling time of like say 15 minutes to interact with you on that case, and they will do everything to tell you that this is a troubleshooting process based on the help page or the guidelines that they have. So sorry about this when I have this, but yeah, and then for me, as much as I can, I'll try to avoid talking to them. So instantly, I'll tell them that I've done this one. I'm having issue updating this. This is the flat file. I've done the late release, but it didn't work. Can you please transfer me to your internal team so that they can investigate it for me? So I'm trying to avoid that back and forth with Amazon Super, especially when I'm on a call with them or I am on a chat support.
Hmm.
So that will help me expedite the resolution.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, having all those trouble, the batch IDs and everything else just helps get this resolved faster. I think
Because
that's
yeah,
good.
they
Oh, sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
sorry. I just want one more thing that I would like to add because this support they will, as I said, they will try everything to just give you the answer coming from those help pages. So if you can tell them that you have done all of the troubleshooting processes and provide them with these batch IDs and all other supporting documents, then yeah, it will be a lot easier for them to transfer you to their catalog team or to their internal team.
Right. Yeah. So pretty much everything that Arvin has just broken down will save you a ton of time if you can understand this process and that hierarchy and know the things that you can do to troubleshoot ahead of time. Still have to put in work, but at least this is the right way. There's the wrong and the right way. This is the right way to go about doing it. So I think that's good for this video. If anyone has questions or needs help with any of this stuff, let us know in the comments or we'll put our LinkedIn's down below. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn and we can point you in the right direction. Arvin, any final words to share on this?
Yeah. I think that's all in there. But if I miss any, of course, I'll be happy to be corrected or to, and then I can add that in my process for sure.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, everyone, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.